My name is Lizzie. I'm encouraging creativity at home, and the theme of this festival is light in the darkness. And you can see I surround myself with fairy lights, and lights make you feel so much brighter as well as being creative. I'm going to be sharing with you a couple of folds, and these are all inspired by a really magical place. It's called 575 Wandsworth Road, and it's a special, beautiful house where one man found a damp patch in his house and decided to get creative and start covering it up through carving. And he created this most beautiful, beautiful place full of light and shadow and carvings. It's magical. And we thought of the lights and wanted to also bring some creativity to you. And we're going to do that through origami. And origami just means in Japanese paper folding, but it's about being creative with the smallest, the simplest of materials. So I'm going to show you how to make your very own beautiful origami lantern, and maybe you can make lots as I have done, added colour. I've been doing some colouring, and then maybe you can string them up and put them in your window and show the light and the colour to others as well. Or maybe you could make a whole rainbow of little lanterns. So I'm going to show you how to make your own origami lantern, and then after that a second fold as well, a beautiful, it's called a star bowl, and you can see the lovely light and shadow there, and it looks very festive. All of these things I think are beautiful all year round, and I think in this dark time of year we need to look after our well-being and do something creative and colourful. So be creative at home, or maybe you're at school. So I'm going to show you how to make this out of just normal paper. We're going to make a lantern first of all. Grab something to press on and grab yourself a piece of paper. Maybe with the lantern you might do a little bit of colouring too. So I would grab some pencils, felt tips, whatever you have at hand. All of this is part of a project funded by the lottery called Made with Glove. So we're bringing care through origami, bringing community at this time. So if you can hang up your origami in windows as well, I think it'd be really nice. We had rainbows before. Now let's put lanterns in those windows as well. So I'm going to first of all show you how to make a square, which is often the basis for origami. So if you take a corner and if you line it up in a nice straight line, like so. So with origami, I really recommend you slow yourself down, go nice and slowly and carefully, and actually that will help you relax as well. That's something which is, I think, really important. We all need to look after how our mind is feeling in this time, and doing something slowly and carefully will just calm you down and just be really enjoyable. And also, if you're nice and exact, it will work well as well. So next I'm going to get rid of this rectangle. So to do that, I'm going to turn to the back and I'm going to pull back till this is lined up. And hopefully the advantage with this video is you can pause, you can go back, you can even slow it down. I've mostly learnt through videos myself. There we go. So I'm going to get rid of a strip here. So actually I'm originally a scientist, but I work as an artist, and I was taught some origami by someone who was a patient in hospital. So confined to that hospital room, which isn't very interesting. So tried to, what can you do? Unfolding paper becomes something which is so magical, transforms into many things. So we've already made a diagonal. I want you to make another diagonal. Now, if you've at all made a fortune teller, or a chatterbox, it's the same thing. This is all very similar, so it'll feel quite familiar. You know, the thing that you can go like that. So it'll start off the same. There we go. So what we're going to do now is take a corner and bring it to the middle. Like so. And we're going to do that for all of these sides. So bring it to the middle. Like so. Lovely. And I think this sort of, the repetition of origami is often very calming too. And give good strong folds, because it's the folds that give it the strength. And also I think when you're putting in those folds, it releases a little bit of tension too. Feel that little bit better. So it's already a lovely thing, isn't it? So our next step is to turn it over, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to bring the corners to the middle. Corners to the middle. So again, taking a corner and bringing it to the middle. Like so. There we go. So we're doing this in a way 3 times, bringing the outside to the middle. So it's getting smaller, I know. But you might even find yourself remembering this. So it's, there we go. Looks a bit like an envelope or a little present. Probably thinking about these things now we're approaching that festive time. That's it. So turn over again. And it's looking like this, and it could be the fortune teller now, but we're going to transform it again. We're going to take the outside corners and again bring it to the middle. So it's the same thing again. There we go. So yeah, so I've mostly learnt through YouTube because I found it rather relaxing seeing people's hands, and I can understand it more. And diagrams, I find diagrams can be a little bit hard. It's much nicer with the person. I'm also recording a fold every week during this time, so if you're finding that you're enjoying it, then do join me. I'm going to be doing lots of festive folds over this time. So our next step, we're almost there actually, is again to turn to the other side, and we are simply going to be lifting one of these. Can you see this little pocket? There's a little pocket on both sides. So get those fingers in, and you can be pushing this up, grabbing that, and pulling it out. And there we go, that's the top of your lantern. And I rather like this as a decoration. So the same thing here. So what you could have done, I should have said really, but you could have already drawn on it, done some writing, done some pictures, added colour, or you could also draw on it now. It's completely up to you. So I've been doing some writing. I've been writing poems, and I've been using that to fold up my lantern. So you could then also put a little hole through there. You need to use quite sharp scissors, definitely something with an adult, and then you could put some string through, or maybe you could use a needle and thread and put that through. Maybe you could just get colouring your lantern and make it really beautiful. This is one that I did with a bit more colour, the one in the middle. I've also got some beautiful papers there too. So have an experiment. We'd love to see pictures as well of your lanterns. Do share them. So I'm going to show you now a second fold, and it's from a lady called Florence Temko. And we'll make our own beautiful star bowl, and I think you can enjoy the shape and the form and making a little beautiful star. So for this, actually, if you have a pair of scissors, it would be really useful. I think it'll be good. I will show you why. The other thing, of course, is a piece of paper. So I will again show you from just some plain paper, some A4 paper, and you can then join me. So piece of paper. I'm going to direct this down. There we go. So again, I'm going to take a corner and I'm going to line it up. There we go. And give it a good strong fold, because it's, as I said, it's the folds that give it the strength. That's great. And we're going to get rid of this rectangle. So turning it over. And again, bringing it back so it all lines up. Like so. Good strong fold. There we go. And if you've given a good strong fold, you should be able to do a little nick and then tear it off. So I've also been doing live folds every Wednesday at 2. So if you find this is a nice way just to relax, I bring along sort of topics that feel right to the moment. So I'm definitely getting going on the festive at the moment. But if you'd like to join me, it's really nice. Live on YouTube if you look at Dr. Lizzie Burns. So we've done a diagonal. So if you can do the other diagonal. Again, take your time. It's what makes it relaxing. And be nice and exact. That's it. Good strong folds, like so. Lovely. And if we turn it over, and we're going to do, it's a lovely shape, isn't it? Already you can see the light and the shadow. We're going to do a horizontal and a vertical. So you need to almost pop it over a little bit. And it's important that you've done it on the diagonals on one side and then turn it over to the other, because it's all about the direction of the folds. It will help. There we go. And then the other horizontal there. I really like this. This one is beautiful. Lovely. So now you should be able to just push all of these pieces together and it forms a square. Can you see? It's formed a square like so. So it's almost like a little book or a flower, maybe a book. We've got a little page here. So with this little page, you can pop your finger in that pocket and squash it down and keep it right in the middle and keep the tips together as well. There we go. So you can see I'm being really nice and exact. That's the key for origami working well. It's engineering as well. It really is science and art together. Turning it to the back. And again, any of these little flaps. And I just love how you could have used something like a scrap piece of paper. A piece of paper you'd otherwise have thrown away. And you can make it something beautiful. I think that's always a lovely thing. So you can turn anything into origami, any paper. And it's got wonderful properties that it holds those folds. And the wood in Wandsworth Road is mostly found wood. Again, it's sort of using things that others would maybe see as rubbish and you're making something beautiful out of it. It's good for the environment too. You turn the page and you've got another page. And again, the same thing again, that you're putting your finger in and squashing it. Keeping all of those tips together. That's it. There we go. There we go. Just one more pocket there. Again, putting your finger in and squashing it to make, that's right, make a nice fold there. Lovely. Well, what we want to do is make make it into an octagon. So at the moment we've got these bits sticking up. We don't actually want those. So if you haven't got scissors, you could tuck them in, but honestly, I really recommend just cutting these off because it will work much better. So if you've got a pair of scissors, trim these off. I think most people would have scissors somewhere. There's I'm sure something lovely you could do with those little triangles. But here we go. So our next step, we've now got a lovely shape there, is to take one of these sides and we're going to fold it to that middle line. It's an elegant shape. And the same on the other side. Like so. There we go. And then actually we'll keep it there. If you then turn it through to the next lot of pages, and you may need to turn at the back to keep it all equal and balanced. And I tend to do it in little pairs, so each time one side meeting the other. So from the top, keeping a nice straight line. Straight. And then taking your time, enjoying taking your time. That's it. Leafing through those pages of a book. There we go. So we're actually doing origami with an octagon, not a square. Good to do things different, isn't it? And I've just got it's one pair to do to match together, like so. So this is a lovely thing, but at the moment it's all very closed up. Reminds me a little bit of a seed pod actually. It's a lovely thing. The next little bit is quite satisfying because we're actually going to open it all up. So open everything up. We were just giving the nice little lines. Here we go. We're also going to be doing a live event, so hopefully you might even see a glimpse of Wandsworth Road house as well. There we go. So this lovely shape here. Looks like a parachute or something, doesn't it? And what I want you to do is, can you see there's a sort of a diamond up here? I want you to push it in like so. And actually you can close it up as you go along. So each time I'm pushing it in. So you're not adding in new lines, you're just sort of closing up as you're going along. There we go. Pushing it in, closing it shut, pushing it in, closing it shut. Almost done. And I think the thing that's so lovely about origami is it encourages you have to completely focus on what you're doing, and then everything else disappears. Look at that, isn't it a beautiful thing? And most of all, I encourage you just to enjoy the beautiful shapes and structures that you're making as you go along. There we go. So it's all kind of stacked up. It's a lovely thing. Now you've got a sort of triangle here. We're quite close to getting there actually. Is to taking one of these triangles and folding it down. Again, take your time and care to make sure it's right in the middle. And a nice straight line there. And again, you can turn through these little pages, these little leaves of a book, a circular book. It's an interesting idea, isn't it? What a circular book be like? I don't know if that's been done. Origami can make you think of so many different things. So there we go, leafing through, and again bringing it down. And again, taking your time. If there's like a wrinkle like there was there, I'm afraid you need to take time to get rid of it. But it's that care and attention to detail also makes it just very beautiful and calming. And it will make something beautiful at the end too. But most of all, as in with all creativity, it's about enjoying the journey, about enjoying that process. And maybe you'll make new discoveries. You'll be making new discoveries for yourself anyway, won't you? I just feel like with origami, this has been discovered by Florence Temko and she's passed it on to others. And what a beautiful thing that is. Like a discovery is passed on from one to another. This little journey of folds. You're kind of following in the footsteps of others, but it feels so precious and new to you as well. There we go. So I was showing origami in hospitals for adults actually. Children love this as well. And it's just something that always lifts mood. It can be the most difficult situation, but doing something focused with paper, it just makes people smile every time. Even before operations, I would do some origami. And it even brings smiles. There we go. So it's hopefully looking like this. The pot's almost there. And this lovely form. So next we need to open it up, and what we're going to be doing is sort of flattening the bottom of this, which you need to do with your fingers. So get your finger gently in there, and I'm going to put in 2 fingers actually, and I'm going to start bringing out the sides. And you see it also looks, in the summer I was making a daisy, it's a little bit like a daisy fold too. Again, just be patient, you're just gently rounding this off, and as you're bringing out the bottom of it, you're opening up your little pot, and it's giving it the shape and the form. Like so. So this is obviously more advanced than the lantern, but I hope this is a lovely thing to do as well. They could look really nice displayed, different ones, different sizes, and they'll give you a nice feeling of sparkle and light too. So there we go. Again, you may play around with it until it's all kind of equal, so it's getting the base flat enough. And yeah, I think they're really beautiful as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this introduction to origami. And as I said, I'm doing a fold every week, so if you'd like to continue for your well-being, for your sparkle, please do join me. But we'd love to see photographs of your beautiful lanterns up in the windows. Thank you for bringing some colour and creativity into your home and for joining us. Bye-bye.